What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Sister Girl on Films. And y'all, I know. You're like, girl, where the hell you been? Look, listen. I was out of town. I was traveling. I took all my equipment with me. I had every intention of watching this finale on, well, Thursday or Friday, and recording my review and trying to have it out to you guys by Sunday. But y'all, I was busier than what I thought I would be while I was out of town, so I didn't get a chance. I didn't even watch the daggone episode until I got back home on Monday night, yesterday. So I'm sorry, guys. I love you. But anyway, please forgive me. And as you can tell by the title, I am referring to the season 1 finale of Bel-Air, Where To. So if you're interested in my thoughts on this finale, stay right there. We're going to get right into this review.
Hey, Sister Girl on Films, you don't want to miss a thing, better stay tuned in. So lay back, get into the vibe, in the mood. Real reviews from a sister's point of view. Trailer reactions, movies and TV. So entertaining and authentic, believe me. So roll that footage, I'm ready to chill. Time to hang out with my sister girl. Hey, Sister Girl on Films. Hey, Sister Girl on Films. Hey.
How we do character by character analysis, and then I give my overall thoughts, but this time around, since it's the finale, I'm gonna give my overall thoughts on the season finale and the season overall. Cool. So let's just start with actually, let's start with Carlton. You know, my season favorite, eventually. He didn't have a whole lot to do this episode because, it wasn't really about him. I feel like we tied up his storyline and his drug addiction with a pretty little bow. I'm kind of disappointed. I really wanted there to be an explosive ending with Carlton where maybe the whole incident with Will took him over the edge, maybe, and him leaving and then finding him maybe OD'd on his coke or something. But I guess they're like, we're gonna go dark this version of Bel-Air, of Fresh Prince or whatever, but not that dark. So Carlton didn't really give a whole lot to do this episode, but that's fine because Carlton was the star of the entire season. So give him a break. I'm sure his shoulders and his back are killing him from carrying this damn show. So let's move on to our baby girl Ashley. So again, I didn't really think she would have a whole lot to do in the finale either because we didn't really get a whole lot from her character this season. And I know someone made a comment couple of videos ago that the show was centered around Will, so they didn't really expect to get a whole lot about Ashley's character, but maybe we'll see more about her season 2. However, we got a whole lot of storyline from a lot of other characters, and the show hasn't really felt like it was centered around Will. So I still believe that they just didn't know what to do with the character of Ashley. They really didn't. They thought about all these complex storylines and how to really evolve Hilary and Carlton and Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv and Will. And then they were like, but what about little Ashley? And they were like, make her queer? Which is fine, but they put it out there, but I don't think they were really ready to go there for real. And so they really took the foot off the pedal a little bit and were like, yeah, we'll revisit it in season 2. So, Ashley didn't have a whole lot to give and her character was pretty much obsolete this whole season, my opinion. Let's go ahead and move on to Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil, of course, his storyline was wrapped up last episode as well. He's no longer campaigning for DA. He's fully in support of Aunt Viv. It seems like in this episode, Will has finally really kind of gotten to the point where even though he appreciates what Uncle Phil did for him, all that kind of went out the window when he found out, how everyone had been lying to him about his father and his whereabouts. And I think for this version of Uncle Phil, that opportunity to bond with Will in this very emotional moment was really lost. Like they kind of had a moment at the art show when Will was looking at the painting that Aunt Viv did for him, but There was, I don't know, y'all. Let me know in the comments below, y'all, if y'all noticed this too. That at the beginning of the season, there seemed like they were trying to build this connection between Uncle Phil and Will. And as we progressed through the season, that connection started to separate to the point where now we're at the season finale and they were not as close as they were in maybe episode 2. And to the point where Uncle Phil really couldn't console Will. He couldn't really talk him down. Like, it just kind of felt like there was no connection by the end of the season. Am I the only one feeling that? I don't know if this was an intentional progression of the characters and their dynamic, or if the writers, because there was a different writer for every single episode, just forgot what the hell they wrote in episode 1 and 2. I don't know. I'm not sure what they were doing with the character of Uncle Phil. I hope they revisit it, because I don't like the choices they made with him as a character. I really don't. I wasn't feeling it. And here in the end, I was just like, and I'm still not feeling it, you know? So we'll see in season 2. I don't know. Let's move on to Hilary. Again, y'all, not a whole lot happening with Hilary either this episode. I guess her storyline was kind of sort of tied up, but it left a little cliffhanger where we have Ivy, played by Karrueche Tran, who looks so beautiful in this entire episode. I think she's such a gorgeous girl. But maybe she's going to play a really big role in season 2, and it looks like her and Hilary are going to work together to get Hilary out of this crazy ass contract that she signed with Kylo. And with Hilary suggesting that, you know, Ivy lets Hilary join her team and, you know, kind of be a part of her whole entourage type situation, we can see that Ivy will probably maybe play a really big part and big role in season 2. But overall, with Hilary's storyline, we didn't get a whole lot of depth and development with Hilary throughout the season. It was pretty much just kind of one note. And so even though we were left with a cliffhanger, it was like, baby, the cliff ain't even that damn high. It's a porch. It's a porch step. I can jump off this cliff. I'm not invested and I'm not moved. So hopefully they up the ante with Hilary. I don't see what else they can do. I feel like they really created a very bland character. But Coco Jones, I loved her in this role as Hilary, and I am excited to see her grow in this role. I just really want the writers to do something else with her character, and really kind of up the ante when it comes to the storyline of Hilary, because they got a lot there, but they also left a lot of meat on the bone. Aunt Viv, you know, she had an amazing art show. She did meet back up with Reed. So we kind of got a little cliffhanger there as well, because she really made it clear to him that she wanted to work with him. And Reed was like, how your husband gonna feel about that? And I really hope they are leaving the door open for a tawdry affair. Y'all know I'm obsessed, and I really want them to bring the drama. And I think an affair with Reed will really up the ante and really cause some dissension in the Banks family and give us the drama that we've been asking for. Right now, they're playing it too safe. So I really hope Mike Ealy is coming back for season 2, and maybe it's going to be a cause of tension between Viv and Phil. I don't know. But I was happy to see him back in the season finale, even though he ain't do shit. And Aunt Viv really didn't do a whole lot of nothing either. I did like the scene, though, with her and Vi on the phone. And, you know, them having the conversation, and Vi just feeling like she just should have been honest with Will this whole time, and them two just on the phone breaking down and really, you know, having a moment together and just being upset, you know, that Will is going through this emotional moment with his father. So strangely enough, I did like that scene. But I had said in my last review that almost all the scenes that I like with Aunt Viv is when she's interacting with other characters. And this is just kind of par for the course for me and how I felt about how they wrote her character. As a standalone character, her own storyline is pretty blah. But when she has to work off of other characters, when she has to have a little attitude, when she has to have an emotional moment with someone else, then it works out. So I really, again, hope they figure out what they want to do with the character for Aunt Viv, because I feel like, I forget the actress name, but I think she is an amazing Aunt Viv. She's beautiful as hell. I love her voice. Her voice is so soothing. She has that very deep sultry voice that Janet Hubert has, and I feel like it just works. So I'm not knocking anybody in the cast. I think the cast all did an amazing job. I just think the writing was just not concise enough, and the storytelling for me was just all over the place. And I really just wanted them to do more with these characters, especially if the show wasn't going to be completely centered around Will, like maybe we all thought it should be or like it would be. And if we're going to introduce these different side storylines and subplots, then make them worth our while. And I feel like they just did not do that with this season. And then honorable mention is Geoffrey. He wasn't in this episode. I hope he comes back for season 2 because we need some Geoffrey. I feel like he needs the answer for causing this storm called Lou to kind of ruffle up the feathers of the Banks family. And I feel like that will happen, but we need Geoffrey back. So he was just my honorable mention. And then last but not least, Will. So Jabari Banks, I feel like his performance this episode was probably one of his strongest performances. I feel like Jabari Banks did a really, really good job in this episode, particularly in the climactic scene with him and Lou and him cussing his daddy out. Baby, he said, why don't you go find a ditch and lay in it, you bit. I said, oh, Jabari! Good for you. Sometimes you gotta call somebody up. Y'all know what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to. And I feel like if he had did that but had did one of these, oh, it would have sealed it. I think Marlon Wayans probably would have stolen on him for real. But I feel like he did a really good job. His acting was on point in this episode. And I feel like we really got an embodiment of that and just really got to see what he could do if he just focused on bringing this character to life himself versus trying to be someone else. When you do what you do, Jabari, you do it well. When you're trying to be somebody else, we can see it and it does not work. So amazing job this episode. We didn't get the infamous "to hell with him, why don't he want me, man?" We didn't get that, and I'm kind of glad we didn't, because that was a very iconic moment for Will Smith, and I don't think it could have been replicated in this form that we have now. I think they did their own version of it, and I think it worked well. Will had that very emotional moment with Jazz in the hills, overlooking the city. It was a beautiful shot, a beautiful moment between him and Jazz. And I liked how they went about it. And I'm happy that they didn't try to recreate that scene beat for beat, because I don't think fans would have enjoyed that. So that was a good decision on their part with that. And of course, everyone has been talking about Marlon Wayans and his portrayal of Lou, Will's father. And I did not expect anything different from Marlon Wayans. He showed that he has really great dramatic acting chops in Respect. I don't think it's too hard to believe that a comedian can do well in a dramatic role. We've seen that time and time again. Just to list a few comedians that have killed it in dramatic roles: Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, Monique, Kevin Hart, Jamie Foxx, Marlon Wayans, D. Ray Davis, and I'm sure I'm missing a slew of others that have been comedians that have killed it in a dramatic role. That's something that just kind of goes hand in hand with comedians. You wouldn't think that, but a lot of comedians feel comfortable when they have to act in a dramatic role. And Marlon Wayans, as per usual, showed his ass in the most amazing way possible and acted his ass off in this role. So I think just that energy between Jabari Banks and Marlon Wayans really sold the intensity of the scene between Lou and Will when Lou choked up Will. It was a great scene. It was a very intense scene, and I feel like Marlon put everything on the table. Now, we don't know what season 2 is going to be like. I highly doubt that Lou will be back for season 2. And I really wish the storyline of Will and his father had been saved for season 2. And now, look, How I feel this season should have ended, just my opinion, okay? I think it would have been dope as hell if the last shot of this season had been Will on his way to meet Lisa. I forgot to talk about Lisa, child. She was in this episode. She was being Lisa. I think the child is probably pregnant and maybe had an abortion or something, and that's what she wanted to tell Will face to face. I don't know. We'll see, but that's my prediction. Anyway, so I think it would have been dope if Will had been, realized he was running late, had turned around to say bye, to whoever, Uncle Phil, Aunt Viv, whoever was saying bye to him. And as he turned to go out the front door, we get a camera shot of the back of his head. We can't see who's on the other side of the door, but all we hear is a voice say, "Hello, son." Oh, fire. Fire. Cliffhanger. We don't see who the actor is playing Lou. We don't see his face. Nothing. We just get a camera shot of the back of Will's head and maybe like a slow pan around to his face. I'd have been like, phenomenal, magnifique. And then the rest of maybe the first couple of episodes of season 2 could have been us focusing on the Will thing, and maybe even built it up more. Maybe him trying to get the trust of the Banks family, maybe him trying to get close to Will, maybe stretch it out over a couple episodes and then have the big finale and this big explosive scene like we had this episode be, maybe episode 3 of season 2. And then maybe part of that season could have been Will processing what that was like to not have his father in his life. Maybe him having drama with the Banks family, with his mom, and made that maybe our focus of season 2. But what do I know? I'm not a Hollywood writer. That's just my opinion. But overall, I feel like the season finale was boring. I really do. I don't really give ratings on my channel, but if I had to give a rating out of 10, I would say the entire season 1 of Bel-Air, I would give it like a 6.5. I feel like it had its good moments and there was a lot of potential there, but there was way too many episodes that were just not giving what I really needed it to give me in order for me to view it as an amazing first season. So, we already know they've been greenlit for season 2. So hopefully they, kind of go back to the table and maybe rethink having a different director and writer each episode. I don't feel like that was a great idea. I feel like that led to a lot of up and down in the episodes. I know that works on a lot of shows, but I don't feel like it necessarily works on this show. That's just my opinion. Overall, for me, the season was just okay. We'll see how things turn out. Who knows when we'll get season 2? They've already been in the works. And I know some people are up in arms and think Will is going to be a social a pariah in Hollywood and his career is done. I am one of the people who did not believe that. So I don't think anything that's happened in the past couple of weeks will impact this show. I think, they just have to start working on it. I don't know if production has started on season 2 or not. But yes, I don't know if I'll review season 2. We'll see. But what I do know is that I greatly appreciate every single one of you guys that have turned up, commented, sharing your opinion about each episode and these reviews. Y'all have been so freaking amazing. I didn't think I was gonna make it to the season finale and reviewing this show. This is the first show on my channel, except Love is Blind, that I have reviewed weekly consistently. And it's only because of you guys and just the engagement that I stuck with it, because I'd have been out episode 3. So I want to just say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel as a result of me reviewing this show. And as always, y'all, like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'm gonna see y'all next time for something else. Thank y'all again so much for y'all support and hanging in there with Bel-Air season 1, and I'm gonna see y'all next time.
Hey, look, I talk my shit and keep it honest, keep it independent. I hear them hating, but that's only cause they inconsistent. He said the weapon wouldn't prosper, now they wouldn't form. I'm about to go fight, hit